this message will find you when you're feeling anxious. So let's see what comes out. Oh my God. Okay. We have, so we have the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. You know what's funny? In the Three of Pentacles, everyone's dancing, they're celebrating. What I feel you need to do when you're feeling anxious is turn on some really good music. It could be something upbeat, it could be jazz, it could be lo-fi, whatever. Something to kind of get the body moving to release any anxiety. The worst thing that you can do when you're feeling anxious is sitting. It's one of those things where with energy or emotions, it's energy in motion. So it's like if you sit, it's gonna stay. But if you move and kind of do all these things, it's going to release. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to dance if you don't want to. But with the Ace of Swords, or this, actually we'll get into the hawk energy in a second, but with the Ace of Swords, it feels like what you can do is journal it out. You can talk it out, you know, by yourself, with a friend, with a therapist, whatever. And again, or you might need to twerk a little bit. I don't know. It might help. It might help. It always makes me feel better. So, but anyway, back to the hawk symbolism in this energy. It's interesting because hawks are birds of prey. They're such beautiful but intimidating animals. Sometimes the mind is very beautiful, but also very intimidating and a little scary sometimes. But I think, again, get the body moving. Any negative or anxious feelings that kind of crop up for you, give these things a name. Because the one thing that I've learned on my healing journey with therapy and things like that is if you give something a name, okay, so like this feels like this emotion is this anxiety stems from this. Once you kind of can identify these things, like with the sword, it kind of like when you think about like a blade, it's something that can cut away the excess of something. So it's like, okay, let me just move all of this over to the side and let me get to the root of the issue. Let me get to the root of the problem. So, and sometimes, I know that I said twerk a little bit, but sometimes it could require, ooh, you know what? Still twerk. Still twerk. But once you kind of get all that energy out, take a moment of stillness and then think about the thoughts that have been coming up and trying to, like I said, trying to find the root to the issue, trying to trace it back to where that could stem from. And my favorite thing to do when this kind of happens, because whenever you're feeling anxious, it can be like a downward cyclical downward cyclical spiral. So what you can do is listen to affirmations to combat that spiral, or you could listen to subliminals or whatever. You know, there's a lot of EFT, which is one of my favorites. There's a lot of things that you can do to refocus your attention on what's really important. And so it's interesting also with the Three of Pentacles, it's Mars in Capricorn. So when it comes down to the mind, you always want to make sure that you're building towards what you truly desire. Whatever's making you anxious, you don't want to build towards that thing. You want to build towards probably the opposite. So it's like, you know, I'm feeling anxious because my favorite coworker is not here today or something like that. And it's like, it's okay. Everything is cyclical. They're going to be back tomorrow. At least I hope. I don't know. That was just a weird example, but it's just like, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, and I guess maybe that's why this kind of does look like Friends. So maybe there's specific friendships that specific topics may have cropped up and it's like it made you anxious or something like that. I think you need to have open and honest communication. I feel like after the lockdown, Covisha, I have been more intentional with my relationships and really voicing how I feel about specific things, because you don't know when another lockdown is going to happen or when you're not going to be able to see these people. So I feel like your relationships are so precious. And again, I said, like with the Three of Pentacles, with this Mars and Capricorn energy, and you think about the goat and how they kind of scale these mountains with their little hooves. It's like you want to build something, you want to go the distance with these individuals. You want to build something with them. So, and the best way to do that is open and honest communication. And the thing with the hawk is like, it can pinpoint what the issue is, but sometimes when you're far away from the issue, it's like, I don't really know what that is. That looks like a squirrel, but I'm not sure. that looks like a chipmunk. I don't know. Thinking from like a hawk perspective. So it's like, and that's the thing too. You might be anxious about something that maybe like a friend was very grumpy one day. And it's like, oh my God, did I do something? Did I say something? What happened? And it's like, girl, I was just hungry. That's it. Again, have these open and honest conversation. And I think that's the thing too. Like if you really care about these relationships, talk to people. That's all you got to do. So I hope this helps when you are feeling anxious. And if you would like to go more in depth about your own situation, I am offering tarot readings. So hit the link in the bio and let's get into it. So good luck until next time.